Καλώς ορίσατε σε ένα ακόμα podcast των The Tasty Stories του Check in Cyprus. Σήμερα βρισκόμαστε στην καρδιά της Λευκωσίας, σε ένα πανέμορφο χώρο που η Thanos Hotels φρόντισε να δημιουργήσει εδώ ένα μπουτίκ ξενοδοχείο μοναδικής ομορφιάς, θα λέγαμε. Βρισκόμαστε στο Amyth of Nicosia, ένα μικρό μπουτίκ ξενοδοχείο, όπως είπαμε. Απέναντί μας βρίσκεται το αρχοντικό του Χατζηγεωργάκη Κορνέσιου, κοντά στην περιοχή της Αρχιεπισκοπής. Ένα ξενοδοχείο για το οποίο νιώθουμε περήφανοι που υπάρχει στην πόλη μας. Γι' αυτό σήμερα μαζί μας έχουμε τον σεφ του ξενοδοχείου, τον κύριο Michael Smith, για να μιλήσουμε μαζί του τόσο για την ιστορία του ξενοδοχείου, τη δική του ιστορία, αλλά και την ιστορία των πιάτων που ο ίδιος δημιουργεί στην κουζίνα. Στο υπόλοιπο της συνέντευξης θα μιλήσουμε με τον Άντριου στα αγγλικά και γι' αυτόν τον λόγο θα υπάρχουν υπότιτλοι στο σημερινό μας επεισόδιο. Andrew, welcome to the podcast.
Absolute pleasure to be here.
How are you today?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Yourself?
How long is you in Cyprus now?
Came in January, so 4 or 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
Started in Paphos for the pre-opening, and then I came across to Nicosia in the first couple of weeks of March.
Okay. And how do you feel about this change in your life?
I love it. Nicosia is a fantastic place.
Mm-hmm.
I was blown away by the old town. The architecture is stunning, and the diversity, the mix of cultures is just brilliant in Nicosia.
Firstly, I would like you to tell us about this building. It was an old building in Nicosia and became now an Amyth Hotel of Thanos Hotels. Tell us about something, about the history, about the building, about the rooms.
Correct. It was first built in the early 1920s, I believe, and it was owned by a family, and it was left derelict for 20 years, and then it's been taken over by Mr. Thanos and the Thanos Hotel Group, where we've done the renovation. But what our architect did, which is fantastic, is they've kept the original architecture and we've built around it to keep this beautiful building back to its initial, how it was in the original stages. And then obviously we've enhanced the courtyard and we've just made it just a really nice boutique, luxurious little property in the heart of the old town of Nicosia.
And there are 10 suites.
Yeah, we have 10 bedrooms and a restaurant, which is
and now we are downstairs in the restaurant and we are this beautiful yard here.
Yeah.
And this is Amyth Kouzina restaurant.
It is, that's correct. We do our breakfast operation, all day dining, and our dinner operation here. The courtyard is beautiful during the day, but it's absolutely fantastic at night. When it's all lit up and the ambience, live music, it's fantastic.
Let's talk about you now. What do you in Cyprus? What do you do at the kitchen? How did you start to work as a chef?
How did my career start?
Yes. Your tasty story.
Yeah, no. It originally started while I was at university. So I used to wash up when I first started at university, just to sort of earn money just to pay my tuition fees. And it went from that to a commie chef. So when I left university, I went back to college and I did my culinary cooking class. My culinary classes, so 2-3 years. And then I went across and I started in little restaurants and then I went across to fine dining. So I went to a restaurant called Thackeray's in Tunbridge Wells, which was a training ground for super fine dining. I was there for 3.5 years and it was a baptism of fire, but it was absolutely brilliant. I originally wanted to be a pastry chef, so.
Yes, you told me that.
Yeah, started with the sugars and all of this sort of stuff and then gradually moved across to the hot, and it's a career that, you're always learning every day. There's always challenges every day, which is exciting, and
it's a difficult work, hard work.
It's hard work, but it's rewarding, and guest satisfaction is brilliant. So yeah, it takes a lot to do the mise en place, get it to where it wants to be, but when you see the guests happy with the food and the delivery and the service, it makes it all worthwhile.
And you have to be creative all day.
Yeah.
This is very nice.
And it's something, as a chef, you're always learning new ingredients, new techniques. You look at your comp set and your peers to see what they're doing across the world, and you add little touches. You see, oh, they do it like this. Oh, we can try it like this. And it's ever evolving.
And you have worked in some incredible places, including Chelsea Football Club. Tell us about
Yeah,
it.
that's correct. So I've worked, the first time I went abroad, I went to the Maldives. So a tiny little island just off Malé. It was like 50 metres by 150 metres, the island.
Okay.
And we had 300 guests, 250 staff, and it was my first exec chef role. And I just fell in love with working abroad, working with different cultures, nationalities, and learning their traditional food styles.
Okay.
Because it's very different to what we have in England.
It was a cosmopolitan environment.
Yeah, it's a very cosmopolitan mix of chefs, which is great. I was in the Seychelles as well, on a little private island where we had a hydroponic setup. So we'd take the guests down with like a little basket, and we'd grow anything we could grow. We used to grow in the hydroponics, like tomatoes, microcress, so everything was as fresh as possible. And we would just let them build a menu around the protein they want from what we could get from the garden.
Okay, that was fantastic. I
Yeah,
think.
it was super good for a chef, and it was great for creativity for the team.
And what would you say have been some of the key influences that shaped your style as a chef over the years?
I'd say it was a mix of fine dining, so London, looking at what sort of originally Jason Atherton, Gordon Ramsay were sort of doing, how that food style's changed over the last sort of 10 years, and how it's adapted to the modern eating styles and the more Instagrammable way of presentation. And again, working abroad, working with the different chefs, just to learn how they do their, like when they make a curry, a Sri Lankan chef makes it completely different to an Indian chef, one from the south of India makes it different to a north. So it's quite nice to see how they make it.
Okay, and you take a lot of things of that.
Yeah, and we can take those little things away, and we can incorporate it into our menus here at the Amyth.
And now you are landed in Nicosia,
Yeah, I have.
which is necessarily not the most obvious place for a British person, to be here, or for a British chef to relocate to. What brought you here? How did you decide to come in Cyprus to say yes to this proposal?
I was looking for a role abroad, and I came across the Amyth of Nicosia. How do I describe it? The concept that we were coming up with and what was evolving is really exciting. So it attracted me in the sense that it's a new opening, it's a fresh start. We've seen it from the construction stage, the development through, and it's just a great journey to be on and be part of.
The challenge.
Yeah, it's the challenge of a pre-opening through to it's open, we're now serving guests, we're adapting our menus accordingly just to balance with where we need to sit within the Nicosia market. And it's a great journey to be on. That's what sort of excited me about this project.
You told me a few days ago that we met again, that this is not your first time in Cyprus. You've been here for holidays.
Yeah, I came to Cyprus, I think I was celebrating my GCSEs, so about 20 years ago in Ayia Napa.
Okay, Ayia Napa, not Nicosia. Nicosia is your first time.
This is my first time in Nicosia. But I like the history associated with Nicosia and the buildings and, you know, the whole ambience of Nicosia is just a brilliant vibe to be in.
What do you remember the first time that you walked in Nicosia through the city? What did you like most?
I enjoyed the architecture. The first thing that struck me was the architecture, the graffiti, the different shops, the little restaurants, the little cafes, everything slowly opening during the day. And then the more time I spent in Nicosia, I find all these like little gems of restaurants where they're family run and the mum does the cooking. So you go in, there's not necessarily a menu, but it's like, oh, she's made this today. And it's like the cleftico lamb with white beans, and you know, it's to die for. And when you find these little gems, it's a great place to be in as a chef to go out and eat and all of this sort of stuff.
Hey, what about the Cyprus cuisine, the food? Did you try something that impressed you, or you liked very much, or you didn't like?
No. I like the Cypriot cuisine. It's like the chef talio. Chef talio. They're super cool. The Cypriot sausage is a bit weird. The Greek sausage and the Cypriot sausage.
Yes, similar,
but also quite different. The cleftico lamb with the white beans that I just mentioned at the little restaurant down there with the blue door is to die for. And I like the meze platters.
Meze.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like when my girlfriend's here, we always go to a little Kouzina and we have the meze sharing. So that way we get a good taste of everything that the restaurant does.
And we eat a lot in Cyprus.
Yeah.
So what about the halloumi, cheese, Cyprus cheese? You told me that you find it in Britain, but it's not the same like in Cyprus.
Yeah, no, as I was explaining to you, there's the halloumi, they come from different countries in the UK. So originally halloumi, it was not my favorite ingredient at all. Whereas the Cypriot halloumi that we have here is absolutely beautiful, and it's changed my mindset on this ingredient.
How could you describe the Cyprus cuisine? For someone who doesn't know the cuisine?
I'd say it's got a mix of it's a mix of Mediterranean with African influence. The grills, so for like the Slovakia, that's like it's got a melting pot of different influences, particularly the African, the Moroccan. There's a little bit of Lebanese twist in there. It's just an interesting type of cuisine. And
this cuisine, it was something new for you?
I've had it before.
It could be an inspiration for you?
Yeah, it's inspiring the different cooking methods. So what we're trying to do here is we try and use the whole ingredient. So on our champagne dinner that we've got coming up in the next couple of weeks, we've got a bream dish on, beautiful wild bream, but we use the whole thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to grill the fish bone on the grill. So like in the style of how you do the grills here, just to enhance the flavour of the broth. So one, we don't have any wastage. Two, we're trying to bring in the Cypriot cooking style into a modern Mediterranean restaurant.
Okay. And how do you feel about the people here in Cyprus? The Cypriots?
In what sense?
How do you feel about, how did you describe a Cypriot? How could you describe a Cypriot?
I think they're great. I think they're super down to earth. My chefs are super hardworking, hospitable, friendly, and it's a nice environment to work in and live in Cyprus.
Of course. Let's talk about Amyth. What makes this hotel different, do you think? Especially being nestled in the old Venetian walls in the old city of Nicosia.
I'd say it's the courtyard. It's the boutique. It's the sort of laid-back luxury of the hotel. How it is. The food style is different to a lot of the restaurants in Nicosia. So I think what makes it different is the whole ambience when you come in here, especially in the evening. Like I said, with the live music, the ambience, the flow of service, it's full. The food's coming out. The food's nice. It's tasty. It creates its own little name for itself.
Let's talk about the concept of the restaurant. What about the concept? How do you describe the concept of this restaurant?
The concept of this restaurant is refined dining. So we're not pretentious fine dining like you'd find in like a London restaurant. We're laid back with some home favourites on the menu, some nice delicious salads, that sort of stuff, as well as nice signature dishes like our lobster Wellington, which is carved at the table. And it's a take on a British beef Wellington, but we've done it with a lovely lobster. And then there's black truffle shaved at the table. So we have a different mix of dishes, which is nice.
Yes, and you start from the morning with coffee, breakfast,
yeah, of course,
lunch, and dinner in the night.
Yeah, so we do breakfast and brunch, where at the weekend it's busy. We have the music. And then we do a lunch menu, which is more laid back. And then we have our dinner operation, which is a little bit more formal. And the food's just a slightly different style at dinner than it is to lunch, where it's more comfort food at lunch. And then it's a little bit more formal at dinner, but refined dining.
And what kind of flavors and stories are you trying to tell from your menu, with your menu, or with your plates?
We're trying to bring sort of the heart of the Mediterranean to the Kouzina with Cypriot twists and cooking styles. And we're trying to make it sort of, we're such a small operation. It's like, this is a family kitchen and you're welcome to our home, if that makes sense. So
Are there any dishes that you feel like is my signature plates of the restaurant? You are very proud of of those plates.
We've got a super. Well, we have the lobster Wellington, which is a fantastic little
It's
dish.
a must-try plate.
It's a must-try plate
Okay.
here, and that's for two to share. And then we run little specials each day, which just evolve slowly onto our a la carte. We have a sea bass crew dish,
Okay.
which is carpaccio of sea bass with compressed cucumber and local fruits. And what we're trying to do is bring all of the local ingredients into the heart of this kitchen and just do them in a different way and just use the beautiful products of Cyprus.
Simplicity is the secret of a good plate.
Simplicity is the best way. The fewer ingredients, the better.
Yes.
The more you put on a plate, the more it takes away from just the simplicity and the elegance of the main ingredient.
After the food, we have desserts. What about the
Yes.
desserts of the Amyth Kouzina?
The desserts are something you definitely need to try.
Yes, I try some.
Yeah, you had the
I had yes.
chocolate cheesecake,
yes,
no?
Yes.
The white chocolate cheesecake's probably, for me, that's a signature of this hotel. It's just super nice, refreshing, as well as the sorbets. So what we do is we use the whole, when we do like the lemon, the lime, the mandarin sorbet, they're as local as possible, but we use the whole ingredient. So they're super fresh, they're super nice, there's no puree or anything like that in it, it's just made from the juice of the local fruits and citrus.
Now we are seeing more and more guests with specific dietary preferences, from plant-based eaters, gluten-free diners. How do you accommodate those needs while keeping the experience elevated?
What I like to do is keep the menus adaptable in the sense that with the gluten, we can take the elements out and twist it so it doesn't do anything it doesn't have a negative effect on the plate or the execution of what's coming from the kitchen, but we can just tweak it around. The plant-based it's becoming more and more popular across the world. And we just try and keep a few options there, which have been tailored and designed, which are super tasty, just for the vegan and plant-based, and then we adapt other dishes accordingly.
Do you think that vegetarian or vegan cuisine is a trend or something that came to stay?
I think it's come to stay. It's an interesting 15 years ago, there were hardly any vegans or vegetarians. Now we see it a lot more. It's a food trend. It's here to stay, particularly in London. So when I was at Chelsea, for example, all of our desserts were plant-based, nut-free.
Okay.
Just to make it easier across the board for everybody. If it can be made completely plant-based with the products, there's no reason why it can't be plant-based if it's super nice.
Okay, why not?
And I don't think it takes anything away from the experience.
And what other trends internationally can you see today?
We've obviously got the plant-based. It's got particularly in London, it's moving away from that fine dining restaurant style of like 10 years ago, and it's becoming more relaxed. You're seeing restaurants, the fine dining restaurants are sort of closing because that style's disappearing, which is a shame, but it's also a great opportunity for the chefs to learn a slightly different food style where it's more laid back, relaxed, and more friendly around the guests, as opposed to that sort of stiff service that you'd get in sort of a three-star
And maybe it's time to be more relaxed.
Of course, yeah. Like you come out for dinner, you want to be relaxed.
Casual.
You don't necessarily want to sit there in a blazer now. You know, it just changes the way it is. But you want to be relaxed when you come out for dinner, and you want to have fun and enjoy the ambience.
And what about your ingredients from Cyprus? How important is that to you as a chef?
It's super important. I have an interest in sustainability in the sense of like how far food travels, and the more local produce that I can get. Cyprus has some fantastic ingredients. So like the local potatoes that come from the red soil near Famagusta. It's the most versatile potato I've ever come across in the world. You can make a chip, you can make mash. It's probably the best potato in the world. you know, and why would we want to use anything else? We want to support the local businesses.
We're very proud of our potatoes.
Of course.
I was born in this area.
Yeah.
And our potatoes are the best in Cyprus.
Of course. And we just want to use as much local ingredients as we can because it's more sustainable. It's better for everybody in Cyprus, and it supports the local farmers and the growers. You know, and our veg supplier is just down the road. His micro-herbs come from a couple of miles away or a couple of kilometers away. Same as all the citrus fruits and stuff, you know, and we want to use that.
Did you find an ingredient from Cyprus that you love a lot? You like a lot?
The Cypriot potato.
The Cypriot potato.
Because it's so versatile and
Yes.
it's tasty and it's nice.
Yes.
And I think they're coming into season in Famagusta in September.
Yes.
So they're going to be even better, which is good.
So are there any other collaborations in the pipeline, maybe with local producers, winemakers or artisans with the hotel?
Yeah, absolutely. We're looking to do some more. We do some wine dinners with our wine suppliers where we go through all the different vintages. We normally do like a 6-course tasting menu.
And what do you think about the local wines? Did you try some?
Not too much, but yeah, they're super nice. They're nice because there's a lot of production just outside Larnaca. Is that
Okay.
correct?
And Larnaca
And Limassol.
Paphos and Limassol?
Yeah, and they vary from region to
More
region.
in Limassol, yes. Yes. What creative challenges or opportunities are you excited about as Amyth Kouzina evolves?
I think it's just going to slowly, hopefully the challenge is going to be, it's not a challenge, it's going to be fantastic. All your local ingredients are now starting to come into season, so we can start adding all the local sort of veg, the fruit, the citrus onto the menu, and we just need to keep up and keep moving forward and evolving, you know.
And why someone have to visit Amyth Kouzina?
I think they've got to come for the experience, the atmosphere, the food, the service, the wines, just to come and have like a full experience.
The atmosphere, I think.
Yeah, of course.
It's like part of the history here, of the city. And finally, what advice would you give to a young chef or young chefs out there who dream of working internationally or opening their own restaurant one day?
I'd advise, it's hard. It's hard at the start. It's normally long hours, antisocial hours. You don't see your girlfriend as much. You don't get to go out partying with your mates as much. But if you work hard, good things come, and you know, slowly as you gain that experience, you move further into the kitchen, you enjoy it more, you'll see more, you'll then start to develop your own style. If you sort of follow the Instagram and of sort of the chefs around the world, you'll start developing styles and ingredients, and you'd start you get more experienced and more into it. And then if you want to go abroad, you just go abroad, experience the culture, experience the food, experience the kitchens on stages, and then come back. And if you can open your own restaurant, have your own style and do your research and make sure it works, you know.
Very nice. Andre, thank you very much for the conversation. I wish you all the best here in Cyprus, and all the best for Amyth Kouzina restaurant. And we'll talk soon in the dining room.
Of course. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure. Cheers.